All right. All right. Good afternoon. This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming with the live stream. And this one is going to be special for me. And the reason is that I am going to be interviewing someone who means a lot to me. I've been knowing him for over 20 years. He's been with me and he's hung with me through some good times and some really terrible times in my life. Um, I can't explain how much he means to me. Like, to call him a best friend would be an understatement. Like, he's more like a brother. He's the closest thing to a blood brother that I have now. You know, to give you a little bit of history on him, um, he's former military like myself. That's where we met. Actually, I want to tell a story about how we very first met. And this was back in 2002. We were doing PT in the morning. And this was around his first or second week on the ship. So I didn't really know him. He didn't know me. And so we were doing our regular PTs. And then we would usually do like a mile and a half run. And I remember I was getting towards the end of that mile and a half run. He was a little bit ahead of me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm finna pass him up and I would get to the finish line. I'm just gonna start speeding. So I was speeding and I went past him thinking I was just gonna, smoke him. This guy, this guy, he came back and just zoomed right past me like and like looking at us now, you wouldn't think that we'd be able to do that. But back then we were a lot skinnier. And so he zoomed right past me. And I was just like, man, he kind of humbled me that morning. And then, slowly but surely we started getting to know each other and we became cool. And, you know, like I can say that like one of my worst years, 2020, when I was going through some real bad health issues and I needed some help, he helped me, you know. Like he always invite me over his house. We always kick it. Um, how long have you been doing traveling with the passport? And this is outside the military. How long have you been doing it?
Since 2006. I did a get out the Navy trip in 2006 to Costa Rica, and I just ain't never stopped.
Okay, so he's been doing this way before Passport Bros became a trend back in 2006. So that's what 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years.
16 years he's been doing this. So he's a vet to this. So, and he was actually my inspiration for me to get my passport and start traveling, which I just started this year. And I plan on doing another trip early next year. Um, I mean, he's a traveler in more ways than one. I mean, it's so much that I could say about this guy. He's college educated. He's highly intelligent. He's a caring, understanding gentleman. I mean, like he's somebody that's been a godsend to me in my life. Like, man, I can't even describe how much his friendship and how much his brotherhood means to me. And this goes beyond any organizations or anything that we could possibly be a part of. Like this is a real genuine thing that we have a bond. Like I love his mother like she's mine. She always give me words of wisdom. But his name is International J. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, Just Bob? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So I already asked you the question. You starting in 2006, and
yep, it was actually I want to say it was the July 31st, 2006 to like August 14th, 2006. Basically, I had got out the Navy and finished TAPS May 31st. And I came home and I was thinking about, man, I should do a get out the Navy trip. So I started looking at places, and first thing that came to mind was Brazil. Everybody want to go to Brazil. And I was looking at Brazil, and I was thinking about it. And I had enough money. I was like, oh, okay. And I started looking around a few more places, and I seen Costa Rica. And Costa Rica was a shorter trip in travel. The colones, you get more for the dollar. The money there is called colones, so you get more for your buck. And I was like, why not go here? So I set it into plans, and I set the dates. And on July 31st, I went to San Jose, Costa Rica, which is the capital, and I already had where I was going to stay at, and I went by myself. I would have loved to went with some other people, but I didn't have time to wait. So
I get you.
I went by myself, and I went for 2 weeks, and I used what I learned from the Navy. Pay attention, stay focused, keep your eye on the prize, and I had a good. And I met a gentleman from Miami, and I met a gentleman from Denmark, and those are the two guys that I hung out with, and had a good time.
Okay, so like, what did you all do on your first trip there?
A lot of Texas Hold'em. I played. They had tournaments every day, and I played in the tournaments, and we would play in the tournaments every single day. And I will always get to the final table, but I'll be there. Unfortunately, I'll say at least half the times I make the person that make the first money, or I'll be the bubble, the one that don't make the money. Um, I think the highest I probably got was like maybe seventh place. I had some bad beats, but it was fun, and I was on vacation. And I did personally. I like to see the architecture and the history, so I went to a couple churches and walked around, and I like to buy souvenirs for friends and family. Hold on one second.
Sorry about this, people. It's a family household, so people are going to be, hey, his son just came in here, so he had to interrupt that. So, all right, he's coming back.
Yeah, I apologize about that, but I'm back. So yes, I went to a couple churches and went to a couple churches and hung around and did some historical stuff like that, but mostly played poker and went to discos.
So, how were the beaches out there?
San Jose, believe it or not, didn't have a beach because it's inland. Wow. The beach for Costa Rica that most people go to is Jaco Beach, which is 4 hours away, which I just went to November. But it was like more so expensive. I didn't really care for it. I prefer San Jose, the capital.
Okay. So after you went to Costa Rica, like did you have that itch to just keep traveling after that, or what caused you to want to continue on with that experience?
Well, I caught the itch from the military because we didn't go to a lot of places where me and just Bob was stationed at. We didn't go to as many places as I want to. I thought we were going to, and so I left a yearn to do more, and to not be restricted.
Okay. But one thing, okay, and I'll explain this in one of my first videos about like what we've learned in the military and how to conduct ourselves in foreign lands, and like we understand how we have to conduct ourselves to where we don't put too much eyes on us.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to be aware of your surroundings, and you want to be aware of the culture of the people, so you don't offend anybody.
Correct. And you don't want to be too flashy. So nothing that they always say, which is true. And you don't want to be the word, I guess you would say, you don't want to be too full of yourself.
Oh, the cock of the walk.
Yeah, you don't want to be the cock of the walk. You know what I'm saying? You want to be humble.
Okay.
Or you mess around and you go be at the wrong place and get humble yourself. So, you don't want to walk around like I'm American, I'm the shit, I'm better than you. I'm better than me. I don't know if we can cuss. My apologies.
No, it's good.
Okay. You don't want to walk around like I'm American. You're beneath me.
Right.
Humble yourself.
Yeah, and that's true.
Seriously, like you really need to humble yourself. Like wherever I go, I don't never go with the attitude I'm American. I'm this. I'm that.
Yeah, because
especially not in a foreign country.
Yeah, because you're not in your country.
Exactly.
You're in another person's country, and you're interacting with their people. And
Correct.
Even though this whole world is our world, we still have to be respectful of everybody's culture and everybody's land. And we have to understand that even though we are a part of the whole world in general, that we are separated by territories and states and things of that nature, and we have to be respectful to those parts. Now, I was going to ask, where did you go to after Costa Rica?
Well, I went to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, April 2007.
Okay, and I've been to Dominican Republic so far.
Yeah,
so
I went to the capital.
Yeah, so I understand that experience. So, without being too graphic,
right?
How was your experience there?
My experience was good because I went with people.
Okay.
And actually, I went for the day I was leaving was, well, before I get to that, I went with a group of people, and they had already been there, and they had already had some friends there, and like family, and their friends' family treated us like we were family.
Right.
So, which made it easier to enjoy. And we went around and seen places that Christopher Columbus been to and all types of stuff, and went to the rivers and played baseball in the villages, stuff like that, and went to the beaches and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah, the beaches are off the chain too. Yeah. Oh man, I love the beaches in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, so I went to Boca Chica Beach towards the end. So I was supposed to leave on the day of my birthday. Unfortunately, the concierge made me miss my flight. So I wasn't happy. And I'm going to say it here. I'm definitely a Chicago White Sox fan, but I do love the Yankees.
Okay.
I do. Derek Jeter was my boy. And they were playing the Boston Red Sox, and they were destroying them at first. Destroying them. And it was a great game because, like, every inning, somebody was hitting home runs. Like, it was unbelievable. And unfortunately, Boston hit more home runs and beat the Yankees. So I had missed my flight for my birthday, and I couldn't get my potato salad and good food and little barbecue that they was going to have for me during the springtime. But I had met a gentleman who was cleaning shoes, and he knew the ticket agent. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I actually went up hanging out with him, and he called his friends, and they came and got us, and we wound up hanging out together and chilling in Boca Chica. Very, very small place, but close to the airport. And they rescheduled my flight to the next day. And we went to a couple marine and salsa clubs, and danced, and met people and hung out with some with the people that we met earlier. And one of their sisters was having a birthday party. So, we chilled and had a good time, enjoyed till it was time for me to go home. And then, I left.
Okay, so we got Costa Rica, we got Dominican Republic. What other places have you been thus far since you started this traveling excursion?
Man, I've been all over the world. I've been to all the continents and regions except for Antarctica. And I'm going to go there. I determined that I can't call myself International J if I don't go to Antarctica. God willing, one of these days. So I've been to in Africa. I went to Ethiopia this year. I've been to well, let's just talk about this year alone. We had Thailand, Costa Rica, Philippines, Ethiopia. and Aruba. That was just this year alone. So I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Japan, of course. Well, actually, that was outside. That was inside the Navy. Uh, but I did do an overnight in Japan. I was like, I did hit enough in the Navy, so why go again? But Las Vegas, Miami, Georgia, South Carolina, DC's for the stateside
Yeah,
stuff,
let's stick to the
and then the
international
international
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, like I said, I've been to Curacao, Aruba. I've been to
What about Brazil?
Brazil. I have not been to yet.
Oh wow!
And of course,
Okay.
I've been to DR, a few other cities in DR, and um, yeah.
Okay, so
I've been to Colombia.
okay,
I've been to mostly, yeah. That's pretty about it.
okay.
A few other places.
So
Guam, of course. Going back to Guam.
all right. So how is
Pompeii.
how is the dating experience out in these different countries different from here in general?
That's a very good question. Uh, I didn't really do no dating per se, but I know people who have done dating and even got married. And from their opinion, I would give my answer. My answer would be that they found that they were appreciated more from the foreign women than the American women.
Like, did you feel appreciated more by the foreign women than the American women?
Absolutely.
And why would you say that? Like, give me some examples.
Okay. Well, yeah. Of course, you can't be too graphic. It's just that with American women, it seems like it's a lot of. And it's not with all. I don't want to generalize all. With the ones I have encountered, for the most part, it's a lot of pointing their fingers at you, talking, yelling at you, talking loud to you, trying to make you less of a man, saying things about you such as you're less of that would be derogatory towards you. Whereas overseas, it's more so like, oh, you're treated as a king, as in you're more, I would like to say the word worship, but not like, they just treat you better. Like they're more accommodating to you and they more caring about your feelings and what would make you happy versus as in America, the young ladies that I have encountered were more so about what can you do for me now instead of what can we do for each other. It was what can you do for me,
Okay,
not
so
what can we do for
it was
each other.
more like Janet Jackson song, "What Have You Done for Me Lately?"
Yes. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what place had the best beaches that you've been to? Because I'm kind of biased because I've only been to DR so far, and I love the beaches down in Sasua. Oh my god! But what was your favorite beach?
DR does have some great beaches, man. So, I've been quite a few places. And we're talking since I got out the military or military too?
No, out
the military.
Yeah, let's stick to out of military.
Okay, out of the military. Yeah, probably gonna have to be DR, man. DR and the beaches in Colombia and Cartagena were not bad.
Oh, okay.
And Curacao had some nice beaches.
Okay, so based off of your experience
in Thailand, so
okay.
It'll be those top four.
Okay.
But if I had to choose one, Dominican Republic.
Okay. Even though I was biased, like man, that was some man, like when I went down to the DR, not to detract from the interview, but when I went down to the DR, I had my goggles on and I was swimming and I was seeing the fish. The water was so clear, you could see the fish swimming from underneath you. And I was just like, wow, I never seen that before. Like I've been to the Pacific Ocean, I've been to the Atlantic Ocean, and I wasn't able to see through the water that clearly till I got to the DR.
Well, now I gotta change
Go
that.
ahead.
I just thought about it. The Philippines,
Okay.
then DR, then Thailand, then Colombia.
Okay.
My top 4 picks.
Okay.
Because if you go to certain places in DR, they really have some beautiful beaches, like white sand and stuff like that, and nice waves, like not too high, but just enough for surfers.
Okay. Without being too graphic,
Of course.
like what place had the best women?
You know, I guess it depends on what is your type, but for me, I appreciate a woman with curves. So overall, it'd probably be the DR would be probably my answer.
Okay.
Yeah. But and if I had to name like the top 4, it would probably be DR, Colombia, Costa Rica, Thailand.
Okay. Those are some really good ideas. Like I've heard, those in the top of a lot of people's lists.
Yes.
So, what do you have to say to the individual that's afraid of getting their passport or unsure getting a passport? What is that you got to say to them to encourage them to just live their life to what would make them happy? Like, what would you say to that person?
What I say to you is uh, YOLO. You only live once. All work, no play makes a stressful life. Um, there's a whole world out there. You need to explore it and see it. You ain't got to see everything, but you need to go get out your comfort zone and see different parts and explore different parts of the world. And sometimes when you go to certain um, countries, it will really humble you because sometimes you think that you got it bad and you had this type of upbringing, or it could have been a whole lot better and it was so worse. And then you go and you meet some of these people from these different places and you see how they're living, you know, it'll humble you and it might even bring a tear to your eye because it's real. Like it's some people that are like somebody told me before, like, what you going through, there's always somebody going through worse. And I found that to be real. So I would say life is short. Explore. If you got a woman and you want to explore with her, okay, explore. Go to Mexico. Oh, I don't know how I forgot about Mexico beaches. They have some great beaches as well. Cancun beach is beautiful, but DR definitely has some of the great best beaches I have seen. But I would just say to live your life. Don't let your life live you. Explore, see things. How you know you're not gonna like it if you never tried it?
Right.
So explore. Go out and see things.
Yeah, and this message isn't just for men; it's for women too. Because
Absolutely.
women, if you don't feel appreciated by the men here, you should be able to go and travel and do things to broaden your horizons, not just for relationships,
Absolutely.
but just to stimulate your mind and to become more cultured. Like you would say that you're more cultured now than you were previously, right?
Absolutely. When you go to certain places for a certain amount of times, you can't help but to pick up on certain words and certain phrases and certain languages and learn certain things. And Also, I say, try like when you go to these places, don't just, go for one or two reasons. Like try the different types of foods, Um, talk to the people. Ask them like, about the history. Ask them where you should go. You don't always want to go to the touristy spots. Sometimes you want to see the real part of the country. Well, of course, you got to be careful, and because if you go to certain places, might not be safe for you, but
All right, you spoke about food, and I'm like, wow, why didn't I even think about this question? Like, who had the best food, and also,
Thailand.
what was the craziest food that you've eaten?
Okay, Thailand had the best food overall because they have everything, just like a lot of other places, but their food is just, man, it's great. I don't think I ever had a bad meal in Thailand. Um, and the craziest thing I ate, oh, I didn't. I like to, like I said, I like to be of the culture and to be of the people. I did ate some crazy stuff like fish eyes, grasshoppers, worms, cockroaches. So
Hmm.
I guess those insects will probably be the maybe the worst things. Uh, what else I had? I think I had. Oh no, no, that's inside. That was
Yeah.
inside the military.
Okay.
I want to mention it though. Inside the military, I tried cat and dog. So I think that was probably the craziest thing I had tried. That was in Korea on the rotisserie and stuff like that. So
You're a brave man. You're a
yes,
brave man.
absolutely.
Cause some of that stuff, I'm like, oh my god, I can't.
Man,
Whew,
I,
you
I
know,
and I tried it because I tried those worms and grasshoppers and cockroaches and ants because they said it was an aphrodisiac.
I'm sorry.
So I said, "Wow, okay,
Oh man, you
why
know,
not?"
yeah. So
But I didn't try a lot of stuff. Reindeer.
Rudolph.
Hmm. I mean, who hasn't tried crocodile?
No, I haven't.
Alligator.
And
Excuse me.
hold on one moment. Another disruption.
What's it up? Hey, sit down.
Like I said earlier, you know, things like this happen when you're in a family household, in a family environment. There's several children around, so I am so happy to get this information, and you know, I'm going to wrap up this interview in a couple of minutes. Soon as he comes back, he's coming back right now. All right. So we're gonna wrap things up because I know that you're a very busy man, and
Nah, I'm loving it. Come on, find some more questions.
well, actually, I was gonna wrap it up.
Oh man,
Um, and one
I'm
thing,
enjoying this.
yeah,
I gotta come back.
yeah, we could most definitely do that. Um, one thing that I wanted to say is thank you. Thank you for inspiring me to travel. You were one of the first people that were trying to get me to get my passport years ago. At least 10 years ago, you was trying to get me to get my passport. And I don't know why I took so long to do it, why I took so long to travel. But now that I'm doing it and I'm traveling, like I actually enjoy it. Like my eyes are opening and I'm becoming wiser about the world by having this experience. And like yourself, International J,
That's
people
right.
like Dennis Sperling that's out there, people like Average Man Unplugged, Angry Man, um, Free Agent Lifestyle, Coach Greg Adams, Black Ram 313, Black Mind, and I can't Zoom to Thailand, BMT Travels. It's so many people out there that inspired me to start traveling, and I like you. You're the main person I want to thank because I know you personally
Hey,
for
bro,
so many
it's a
years.
pleasure to be named amongst those gents.
Yeah, and and we gonna keep this going. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep on making these videos. We gonna keep doing us. We gonna become better versions of ourselves, better men, better thinking men, high quality, free thinking men. And
Yes.
that's what it's all about. It's about taking off the shackles of the expectations that this society have on us as far as us being servants, because we're men first before we're anything, and we have to learn how to be real men. And when we want to be real men, we have to do men things, and traveling is a man thing. So with that being said, thank you for coming on this live stream
Hey,
with me.
thank you very much. And I just want to add one thing. Being a passport bro and a man who travels, uh, there's misconceptions at times, and those misconceptions are not always true. Some people travel just to explore and see different things in a different light, not just for those reasons that I be hearing on the internet or YouTube or hearing other people discuss that you just going for the women and yada yada yada. I mean, yeah, they're there, and us being men who love women, I mean, that's a bonus. But to go and to be able to explore and to say that I explore or I hike this or I visited this type of beach and then be like one of the best beaches of, considered one of the best beaches of the world, or I was able to learn this language or the language that I thought I knew. I learned more because I visited this place and was able to practice and to see these different type of architects and learn from the history. It's all about exploring and being open mind to different customs and different cultures and learning about them. Not just about, you know, the women in the party. That's just a bonus. What's the main objective is sometimes just to hang out with your homeboys, just so y'all can just get away from the craziness that's going on in your lives. Just to take a moment outside of that to just, you know, get your mind clear. Because sometimes you need your mind clear, um, you know. And sometimes, I want to say, I don't know if this is the place for it, but rest in peace to Stephen, Twitch boss. You know, suicide is real, and you could take a person have everything and not understand it. But all people and all races and all colors have mental issues. It's not just one race that has mental issues. So if you have any type of those feelings, please talk to somebody, seek help. If you got to take a trip to clear your mind, take a trip to clear your mind. If you don't have funds to take a trip, go to the park. Because when you do these things, it ain't just you that you're affecting. You're affecting your families and their families. So I just want to say, rest in peace to Stephen Twitch Boss. And especially as a veteran, you hear about veterans committing suicide and not being able to take it. Because we go through a lot of stuff and see a lot of stuff that people not privy to. So take it serious, love yourself, um, and know that it's real. And seek help. That's all I want to say. Love you guys.
Um, well, like I want to say again, thank you for doing this interview with me. I will have you back on here soon.
Anytime.
And we're not just going to talk about Passport because, like, both of us love to watch wrestling, and we can talk about. I really want to do that with you and do a back and forth. So that'll be
I'm almost 40, and I got all the action figures, all the wrestling figures. Maybe we could. When we do the podcast, so we can look at them.
Right. And, and I'm going to go on record and say that, yes, I was slow to the Passport Bros movement. Like he'd been trying to get me on the way before it became a movement. So thank you again.
All right. Thanks for having me.
And with that being said, this is Bob Bowman. Have a wonderful day.
Bless.